So I think it just starts with being just a friendly face when people walk by and just kind of like waving, letting them know that I'm here. But I also think sharing my personal experiences of being a college student, being really stressed out and kind of going through the ups and downs that come with being a college student. I think with sharing those experiences, it kind of gives people insight on me that I'm not just this robotic person behind a desk, and kind of normalizes the situation of feeling depressed and having a hard time in college. I think first is kind of isolation. Like if there's a resident that is usually very happy-go-lucky and involved in stuff, and all of a sudden there's the kind of like that quick switch and they're moving out, or like they're moving away from coming to programs, not talking as much. That's the first sign. But I think something else kind of goes with like hygiene. I know that's more like a private topic, but just looking at students, if they're usually this really dressed up person, kind of well put together, and then there goes like a week and it's like not the same. It's just kind of a quick check-in, like, hey, how's it going? Is there anything I can do for you? And just checking in. Definitely just listen. I think using, it's called attentive silence, where I really just sit here in silence and let the resident unpack whatever is going on with them. Depending on what they share too, I also have to make sure that they know that I'm not completely confidential. If they tell me something that is alarming or like a red flag, I have to tell someone else to make sure that they're getting better support than just from me. So then after that, really just referring them to proper resources such as Hazen or any other resources they might need. So red flags would definitely be talking about thoughts of hurting themselves or hurting others, feeling like they just don't want to be here anymore, or that the world would be better off without them. I'm trying to think of like actual experiences that I've had. Those are some things that I've heard like within this office. I think that's all that comes to mind right now. So yes, to a certain extent. Like I said, I'm not confidential, meaning that if you were to come talk to me and say like, I am really depressed and I think I'm going to hurt myself or hurt someone else, that's immediate, okay, we're breaking this confidentiality and we're gonna go down to Hazen. Through our trainings, we do learn to facilitate conversations and ask proper questions to learn more about the student's state of mind. And then after that, it's our expectation that we follow up with them regularly. We make sure that they're reaching out, that we're reaching out to Hazen to help them get counseling if that's what's needed, or providing them with other resources. Like I have in my drawer actually, there's this card called Therapy Assistance Online, and this is something I always give to students, and it's just like self-help techniques that are online that can help them through difficult times, and then it can lead them to other resources outside of campus as well. I think a lot of it is adjusting to college, or adjusting to the workload and the change of life and change of pace. I think specifically in this building, we have our upper class students that are used to college and kind of like used to that first year experience. And when you come into an upperclassman building, it's not the same as like living down lower quad. So I think just learning to manage all of their life rules is something that students struggle with a lot, because you come from having this family or some sort of support system, and then you come to college and you have to kind of rebuild that. So I think learning to manage who you are individually, and then learning who people are around you, and then balancing schoolwork, potential jobs, relationships, all of the above.